Let's go ahead and dive right in. Again, thanks everybody for joining. This is the customer webinar series. We generally do these every other week or so, but with the new quarter, we've sort of taken a break and just made sure that we had the planning for the rest of the quarter. So this is our first of Q2. We're going to be talking about journal entry or summary posting, and how it's different from transactional posting, what you should choose depending on the business that you're sort of running and the workflow that you have, and some best practices, considerations, how to do it inside of Webgility. So to start out, we'll do a couple of introductions. My name is John May. I am the video and engagement manager here for Webgility. Been here around 5-ish years. Worked in e-commerce and around e-commerce for a very long time, so I am happy to dive into these topics. And then I'm gonna kill my screen and let Faizan introduce himself here. Take it away, Faizan.
Thank you so much, John. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to WebGility's webinar. I'm Fazan, a senior implementation manager at WebGility, and I have been working here for over 5 years. It's been an incredible journey where I have had the opportunity to help e-commerce businesses to streamline their day-to-day operations, from order posting, reconciling Amazon settlement report, Shopify payouts, to inventory management and processing shipping labels daily. Over the years, I've completed 800 plus onboarding, and I'm excited to be your co-host today as we are going to discuss one of the most important topic in the world of accounting, journal entry posting versus transactional posting. This session will help you understand how to choose the right posting method to streamline your accounting workflow and ensure accurate financial reporting in QuickBooks. And I'm confident that by the end of today's webinar, you will have a much clearer understanding of your WebGility Online configuration and settings, enabling you to record your sales accurately and efficiently in your accounting system.
Love it, love it. Yeah. So
hmm
let me share my screen again.
hmm
Perfect. Okay. And yeah, so the agenda for today is pretty straightforward. We wanted to discuss the difference between journal entry and transactional posting, because there are very fundamental differences, and when to use either or, depending on the type of business that you're running, the impact that each option will have on your reconciliation process, reporting, and financial accuracy when it comes to the financial records in your QuickBooks, and then just some best practices, just understanding how WebGility sort of works with this workflow, and making sure that it's set up properly for you. And then, of course, at the very end, we'll end with the Q&A. So we'll start off with just understanding journal entry summary posting. And then if you want, I'll take this one and then you can take the next one, Faizan. So we'll
Sure.
just talk about sort of the key benefits for journal entry posting, why you might look at journal entry posting as a good option for your business. And so journal entry posting is essentially, as you see here, summary. It's a, I would say, like, consolidated order posting method, right? So it offers a streamlined workflow. So it's generally ideal for bulk posting. If you have a lot of orders, a lot of low volume, or sorry, low value, high volume orders, that makes it easier for you to track, right?
hmm
And sort of by proxy, with it being low value, high volume orders, you've got simplified reporting, right? So you're sort of batching everything together rather than looking at the individual sort of granular data that might come with a transactional post, where you're looking at, tax, the inventory level, any individual order level data. It's looking at just sort of the bulk of everything together. So that gives you a better financial overview for when you're looking for something basic, right? If you just want a snapshot of your total revenue, your total cost of goods sold, your taxes and fees, all of it lumped together rather than each individual transaction, then it's definitely a good option for you. And sort of all these things bundled together make it sort of efficient record keeping, right? You don't have to worry about your QuickBooks company file getting bloated. You don't have to worry about being inundated with accounting entries. So it makes it a lot more efficient because it's more consolidated. It's more simplistic, I guess is a good way to describe it. Do you have anything you want
hmm
to add there, Faizan?
That's absolutely true, John. There is only one disadvantage with journal entry posting that e-commerce merchant they cannot manage inventory. As you mentioned, that it's just a simple data entry, right? What comes in debit and credit, and at last, let debit and credit matches. But when it comes to the inventory part, then we need to go to the transactional posting. So there's a limitation with journal entry that they cannot manage inventory details with this.
Yeah. Yeah, very,
Mm-hmm,
very good call out, and that's something that we'll kind of talk about a little bit
mm-hmm.
more later as well. But yeah,
Sure.
with journal entry posting, it is not possible to track
Mm-hmm.
inventory in the way that you would with something like transactional
Right.
posting. So, yeah, if you want to talk about the key benefits of transactional posting, Faizan.
That is true, my friend. Thank you. So transactional posting, when you configure these settings, it sends each order individually to your QuickBooks accounting, then give a detailed visibility for every transaction, such as customer info, order item details, payment details, shipment details, if there's any customer note, customer comment, and breakdown of the order total information in the form of, discount, shipping, taxes, order total. So this is going to give you every single piece of information what you have on the order, right? The benefit of recording this way, like we'll record every order individually, and when we post the order item, online order item matches with your QuickBooks item. So the information of item price will get recorded to the accurate income account. So if you have multiple income accounts, you can go ahead and record the details individually. Secondly, inventory level management. This is one of the key benefit of using this transactional posting. Let's say if QuickBooks is the master data for your inventory and you are keeping track of quantity counts. So within transactional posting, let's say when Webgility posts an order, based on the order item quantity counts, Webgility reduces count from your QuickBooks item to let QuickBook know that these many order item quantities you have sold on your website. So these are the two benefits. And yes, of course, like customer level insight. Majorly transactional posting prefers by those merchants who have storefronts like Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, Walmart. So when Webgility downloads an order, so every order has a customer information and there, like billing and shipping address information. So you can record your customer information, online customer information in QuickBooks. Secondly, you can use those customer details when you're doing a remarketing. Next is in-depth reporting and profitability analysis. As I said, that Webgility will help you, to record every order individually. You can define specific chart of account to the item related to inventory asset, cost of goods sold, sales of product income. Discounts we can define record as a line item. Taxes will go to the sales tax payable or any other chart of accounts that you want. So when you run the general entry for that specific transaction, you see the classification of net profit and loss on transaction level. So just imagine like if you're posting 100 orders individually based on different categorization of chart of accounts, at the end of at the end of or when you run the monthly report, you'll see the accurate information. And but obvious is it's going to be a better forecasting and financial planning. So every single piece of information we have it's recording to the accurate chart of account, like we have optimized the configuration in a way that discount, order item pricing, taxes, order total, it's getting recorded over there. So this is what it is all about with the transactional posting.
Yeah, yeah. I think the biggest point to make with transactional posting is that
Mm-hmm.
generally this is going to be suited for people that want as much financial clarity and granularity as possible.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Because you're reporting on every single transaction and every piece of that transaction separately, that
Mm-hmm.
allows you to, by default, you're getting more information, obviously. But from there, and this is something that Webgility sort of suggests a lot, is you can
Mm-hmm.
then segment it in a lot more, I guess, of a clear way for lack of a better
That's
term.
right.
So you can create clearing accounts for every single type of piece of order data that's coming through on an
Mm-hmm.
order, like taxes, like discounts, any
Mm-hmm.
specific inventory related information like cost of goods sold. All that stuff can be very, very segmented so that you can, um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, make decisions a lot easier for your business when it comes to using your financial data. And as that last point says, have sort of an audit proof process where if you're tracking everything individually, an audit doesn't scare you, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
know exactly where everything is at. You can point to each individual part of your business and the financial data that comes through each of your channels and say, I know where this came from. This is exactly how it should match. Reconciliation might be a little more complicated because obviously again there's more going on, but that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have to be the case because you can, like I said, segment all of those things individually and make reconciliation easier for yourself by understanding where everything came from. So if there is an inaccuracy or something mismatch, you can find it very quickly. So all that to say, it's definitely good for people that want clear financial data. They want to understand each individual piece of their business, and they don't have, a million orders a day coming through at low value, right? So
Mm-hmm.
cool. So some considerations here. I know Faizan, you mentioned a little bit about this, just understanding sort of
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say the pitfalls, but the drawbacks of each of these options. So for summary posting, you're looking at sort of a limited visibility into individual transactions. So like I just mentioned, with transactional posting, the opposite is true, right? You have unlimited visibility into individual transactions as long as you set it up correctly. For summary posting, you're not going to get that individual granularity on transactions or customer behavior. So if you're really concerned with how your customers interact with your business and want to like dig into their buying habits, or you want to understand on a transaction level how things are performing, you're going to lose that visibility with summary. It's not optimal for businesses that need that customer level reporting or those audit trails like we talked about. And then on the flip side, transactional posting generates more transactions in QuickBooks by nature, right? You're pulling in every single record that comes through your Shopify or your Amazon or both. And that's going to increase file size and it can impact performance. Not necessarily as drastic in QuickBooks Online as it might be in QuickBooks Desktop. QuickBooks Desktop is notorious for lack of a better term, sort of bricking at a certain point. When it gets too big, it gets too slow. So
Mm-hmm.
again, being that this is for Webgility Online customers, most of you are probably using QuickBooks Online, and you're probably not going to run into as big of an issue. There is still
Mm-hmm.
some file size limitations when it comes to high volume, but not nearly as big of a concern with QuickBooks Online. It does though require a more robust QuickBooks setup. So rather than with summary posting, you're just saying, "Hey, I want everything to go into this account," right? You're sort of setting up your chart of accounts to map things correctly. With transactional
Mm-hmm.
posting, you have a lot more to worry about when it comes to making sure that your inventory is tracked. So you have to map products, which basically means Webgility has to know which products exist on each side so that we can tell that they're the same product. So when an item comes through on an order, we can say, hey, reduce that inventory from the item in QuickBooks and vice versa, right? Same thing with tax and shipping settings. Because you're tracking all those things, you have to make sure that they're set up correctly. Anything you want to add there, Faizan? I know that was quite a bit of a
No, it's completely, I mean, you have covered everything, my friends.
cool, cool. So yeah, this is where we'll get to how you choose your methods. So,
Mm-hmm.
at a quick glance, and we'll have Faizan jump into WebGility directly to show you, how these methods work, how to go in and set them up, and all of the considerations there. But
Mm-hmm.
just from a high level, in WebGility Online, just log in at my.webgility.com or through your customer portal, whichever one's easier for you. Go to Connections and then Preferences. And then under posting settings, you're just going to select summary posting or journal entry. There is a note here that says if you do change your posting method at any point, you must and definitely should review and reconfigure possibly any of your sync settings, mostly because the different methods require entirely different processes, right? You have to go in and make sure taxes are set up, product configurations are set up if you're switching from journal entry to transactional, and then switching vice versa from transactional to journal entry. You have to go and make sure that those chart of accounts are mapped properly. So, with that being said, I will stop my screen share and then let Faizan jump directly into Webgility Online
Hmm.
to kind of
For
demo
sure.
what we're talking about.
All right, John. So I've successfully logged in into the Webgility application. As John mentioned, my.webgility.com, that's the URL. You just enter the URL, enter your login credentials, and you're here. This is the home screen of Webgility. And just for this webinar, I have s- connected Shopify stores multiple time to do the general entry and transactional posting separately. So right now I'm in the transactional posting setup, but let's say if I want to change the type of transaction posting, what I do, I just go to connections from the bottom left corner here, right inside preferences. I mean, right next to the store name, you'll see a preferences option. So if I go to the preferences over here, it will ask me, John, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So right here, preferred accounting method. How would you like to go? Would you like to go with transactional posting or summary posting? Then mm, for this profile, I have selected transactional posting. Okay, I've selected all the options exactly from which date I'm going to download the order statuses, and all the sources. After configuring this setup, I'll directly go to sync settings. Now, as we mentioned earlier, that when it comes to transaction posting, it will give you clear detail of every single information. So let's begin with the chart of account. Now, this particular setting, it is all about how you are going to deposit. I mean, exactly in which chart of account you are going to deposit the money. So let's say I want to deposit the money of order currently into undeposited funds. We have provided option to post orders differently based on payment method and use a different, chart of account. For example, if I'm using authorized.net, like authorized.net should go to my Chase checking account. Then my next payment method, it's supposed to be, let's say, Shopify payments. Shopify payments supposed to be go into Shopify clearing account. So I can define different chart of accounts over here so that the payment will get recorded to the correct account. This setting, it is all about where you're going to record the payment information. Now, next is order, type of transaction. So when it comes to transactional posting, Webgility allows you to create transaction as invoices, as sales receipt. It's completely your call. Let's say you want to post all your e-commerce orders into QuickBooks as sales receipt or as invoice. Secondly, we have other options as well. I have seen most of the customers, they have wholesale retail orders on their e-commerce platform. So they want to post orders based on order statuses or based on third-party app, right? Let's say if order status is open, open means order is paid but not shipped, so they want to create invoice. If order is fulfilled, then it's supposed to create sales receipt. So I mean, we have given an option to post orders based on multiple, based on different. So sorry, just give me 1 second.
Yeah, and just to kind of
I'm sorry.
piggyback on this point. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're good.
Mm-hmm.
This really illustrates the sort of the point that I was making with transactional, where you're able
Correct.
to segment things or keep things
Mm-hmm.
as separate as possible. So for people that run a business where they do both business to business or B2B and direct to consumer D2C sales, this option that you're displaying, the order status segmentation, makes it really easy because you can
Right.
filter anything by open that it has not been fulfilled yet as an invoice, and then you can go and select any fulfilled orders as sales receipts and track those
Mm-hmm.
separately. There's some other ways to do it as well, but I think that just illustrates transactional being really good for making sure that you're tracking everything at that granular level.
Correct. And when it comes to optimization, see, you can define like every single feed, the payment on the sales receipt or invoice, what sales receipt number you want to set, the next auto generated number by QuickBooks, or you want to see the Shopify order number. So every single information on your sales receipt, what you're going to see there, you can optimize it from here. Now, next tab, it's all about products. So as I mentioned that when it comes to transactional posting, inventory, it's going to be involved. When WebGility download the order detail, it download the item information as well. And we need to set up a product matching criteria over here. How WebGility is going to identify your online item in QuickBooks. So standard matching criteria is SKU of Shopify or Amazon matches to SKU of QuickBooks. If it doesn't match, then we have, multiple options like creating a new item, flag the order with an error, use a standard item so that at least order gets posted, or at last map the item. If item exists in QuickBooks and have a different SKU, this often happens that SKU on website is completely different with the SKU of QuickBooks accounting. And we have other matching criteria as well, like product name matches to product name or SKU matches to product name. We can define anyway options accordingly. Then next is customer settings. So WebGility downloads billing and shipping detail of the customer. And while posting order to QuickBooks, it's completely up to you if you want to create a new customer. So first name, last name of online order matches to customer name, then email matches to email. And if it doesn't match, then WebGility creates a new customer. It's our call. You want to use one standard customer. If it doesn't match, or all orders should get recorded to standard customer, it's completely up to us. So we can optimize your customer details, then shipping amount, like shipping income, discount amount, and sales tax. It will get recorded at the subtotal level of the order, like at the bottom right corner. So shipping, discount, and taxes, WebGility record at the subtotal level, bottom right side of your sales receipt or invoice. WebGility also allows you to record refund order details. Let's say it shipped an order, but after 10 days or 15 days later, your end customer requested for a refund for it because of any XYZ reasons. So WebGility download the refund order information once it's processed from your website, and then it will record the refund and balance out your previous payment when it created while posting the order. Then we can record the fee. Right now I have connected Shopify. So with Shopify, we can record Shopify payment fee. WebGility supports PayPal, Square, and these payment processors. So you can record the payment processor fee, Shopify payout fee as well. And if you have connected shipping carrier like Shipping Easy, ShipStation, and you're processing label directly from there. So WebGility allows you to download the shipping charges, how much amount you are paying for the label for particular order, and we can record the information there. And with Shopify, there's a deposit option as well. So we can record the deposits with Shopify, like these are the Shopify payment deposits. Now, right in the left panel, if you notice, let me get back to the dashboard screen. So in the left panel, if you notice that we have multiple options. When it comes to transactional posting, WebGility allows you to record your orders, refunds, fee, and deposits separately. Then we have shipping fee. If you connected ShipStation or Shipping Easy, here's your inventory management tool, right? With transactional posting, you're going to get this option. If we go with the summary posting, then you won't have it. Like with this inventory management tool, you can create your items, map your items, synchronize sale price, cost price, and quantity between your online store and accounting software. But when it comes to order posting, you need to go to orders. So in every 30 minutes of frequency, WebGility automatically download the order, list them right inside this new orders tab. You can select them all, click on Post to QuickBooks at the bottom, and once they post it, WebGility will record them individually. Now, these are a few orders that already recorded. Let me show you one of these orders. So if I go to the last column and simply click on this, QuickBooks symbol, it will launch the order summary, and here we go. The magic is happening. Take a look. This is your individual sales receipt transaction. So we have customer information, payment details, shipping information. This is the item what the end customer has purchased and order total level info. I told you that shipping, discount, and taxes ability record over here. Like this order, it has a tax amount, and based on the location, like this order, it processed for California. So it has recorded this tax amount into Californian jurisdiction. So we can, customize the sales tax settings as well. If you are collecting taxes in multiple states like California, New York, Washington, Tennessee taxes, you just need to enable the jurisdiction in your QuickBooks accounting, and based on the location, WebGility record the tax detail to accurate tax sales tax payable account. Here's the quantity count. While posting the order, WebGility reduce the quantity count from your QuickBooks accounting, and um, let me just confirm the payment. It's a manual payment, so it deposited the money to undeposited funds. But if it is Amazon, Shopify, authorized.net, so within the chart of accounts, whatever settings we configured, it will record this way. So it's a detailed information. And if I show you the transaction journal for this particular order, like it's an individual journal entry for this particular transaction that I have posted. So as I was discussing earlier, every single detail related to your income account, COGS account, inventory asset, and other expenses, it will be categorized, all of them. Seems there's a latency today, huh, at my side.
Welcome to my life.
So here we go. This is the transaction journal for this particular order number 1002. So the money get deposited into undeposited funds, sale of product income, inventory asset, cost of goods sold. Like these numbers are hypothetical, right? These numbers are not accurate. That you are making, almost $900 of profit. But again, this is how it gets categorized, and every single piece of information it records to their specific chart of account. So this is all about transactional posting. And as I mentioned, that we can record refunds, we can record payment processor fee on the order, Shopify payout fee, and deposits. Like the payout deposit amount, we can transfer them from your clearing account to checking account. So this is all about transactional posting. Now, if I switch my store profile to the general entry one, it's right here. Now, when it comes to the general entry posting, again, inside connection within preference settings, I have just changed the method of accounting from transactional posting to journal entry. I go to preferences here and take a look. So when I select this summary posting option, the first change, what you see in the left panel, the product module, it's been disappeared. We have summary, we have sales, P, like if you have connected shipping carrier, and analytics, the product module, it's been disappeared. When I go to sync settings, there's only one type of setting available, which is for accounting mapping. We need to map the chart of account based on the transactions. So now it's going to club all the information, like it's not going to bifurcate or give us the breakdown. Account receivable, like what account receivable should we select? So this one, it's from Shopify. And in the second column, this one, it's your QuickBooks chart of account. Sale income, which means sale of total product income. So I have selected here sale of product income, discount given. If any order, if any discount given on the order, it will get recorded directly to this chart of account. Same goes with coupon, gift card redemption. If any refunds during the period, then it will get recorded to the refund account. Shipping income, shipping expense, tax collected. Remember, with transactional posting, I told you that we can, select, or we can record the taxes based on tax jurisdiction based on their locations. But here we can only select one type of chart of account. Tip given. Then at the top, we have payment processor settings. So within payment processor settings, we can bifurcate the deposit account. For example, if any transactions posted through Shopify payment, then all the payment of those particular transaction get records to Shopify clearing account. Payment processor fee gets recorded there. So let's say today you have received 50 orders. 20 of them processed through Shopify payments, 10 of them processed through PayPal, 15 of them processed through authorized.net, and 15 of them processed through um, cash payments. So now you are not going to see one lump sum general entry. Webgility divide the orders based on the payment method. For Shopify payment, it will create one separate general entry for PayPal, for authorized.net, and for cash payment. So we just need to connect here the chart of accounts. If the payment method, like I informed you that Webgility supports Stripe, PayPal, but if you are processing through authorized.net, Google Pay, Apple Pay, you can add your payment processor here and configure the settings similarly, that where you want to deposit the money for that, missing payment processor. And Webgility will download processor fee only for PayPal, Stripe, and Shopify payment. If it is authorized.net or any other payment method which is not mentioned over here, it won't show you the this particular field. Now, this is how it will get recorded, okay? If anything other than this, then it will consider as deposit, and I just go ahead and select here undeposited funds. Next is product COGS. Product COGS. So the next setting it is all about product cost of goods sold. Let's say if you would like to highlight the cost price of order items, okay, on your general entry. So all you need to do, just enable this information, set the currency, correct chart of account like inventory, asset, cost of goods sold. So Webgility has downloaded the orders. Now, while creating a journal entry, Webgility will analyze all the order items that are in the order, and based on that, it will fetch the cost price of the item, matching item from QuickBooks, club all the details, and it will also prepare one entry inside your summary posting for COGS. So let's say $1,000 is the order total, $1,000 is the item value, but you purchased it for $850. So there is a negative $850 entry. Entry will be prepared, and at the bottom, you'll see the net profit and loss. I'll show you how exactly it looks. So this is related to the sales, then payment processor. Mm, okay. Now I go to summary and let me go to payouts. So every day, Webgility will process payouts. So today is 22nd. Up until yesterday, it has prepared the payout for all the orders. So let's say today period, it's not closed yet, it's ongoing. It will be closed after midnight. So if I go to period not closed, you'll see today's date here, 22nd of April. And in the pending, you'll see all the previous date orders, which has been consisted in the form of payout. So let's talk about this one, okay? 16th of April. Total income, $96,403. This is the money what deposited, cost of goods sold, it's right here. And this amount, it's of total 47 transactions. So on 16th of April, you have processed around 47 orders. Four of them were refunds. 43 of them were orders, and this is the revenue, expenses, and all other stuff. If I just simply click on it, then you will see the complete summary. There you go. This is the total product sale, discount offered, refunds. Oops, just a second. Refund offered, shipping income like shipping charges collected, sales tax payable. So there's no breakdown of taxes. It's just one entry. Uncategorized income, depreciation expenses, and Shopify clearing expenses. And at last, it matches. Seems there is some mismatch. It's a test account. So this depreciation expense, it's some additional entry over here. Otherwise, it shows you $99,052.52 in both columns, in debit and credit columns. Now, if you want to post it, you can select it and click on Post to QuickBooks. Once it's posted, it move to Completed tab. I was expecting this, that while posting the order, we encounter with an error because of that depreciation entry. So never mind. I have prepared one transaction journal. Okay. For example, yesterday order, there were only three orders processed. $516 were the revenue. And if I click on it, this is your journal entry. And when Webgility creates the journal entry, and when I open it, this is how exactly it looks. Sale of product income, discount given, shipping income, sales tax payable, cost of goods sold, right? Like the three order items, cost of goods sold of 469, but you sold them at the amount of 502. Then 47, 43, it's a profit, and at last, left hand side matches with right hand side. This is what we learn in the accounting term, right? Debit matches credit, and this is the general entry. So this one, like it's not an individual transaction, it's a whole summary of three or four orders or 10 orders throughout the day. 421, whatever you have received, the orders, it's a summary posting for across all of them. So this is the major difference between transactional posting and summary posting, like how you can configure and set up your WebGility with WebGility. Mhm.
Love it. Love it. All right, and just some quick pointers here for I guess best practices recommendations, not necessarily best practices, but just understanding which option you should choose. So just to reiterate, if you're a business that processes thousands of low value transactions per day, if you don't need detailed reporting or you want just as basic or as streamlined a reconciliation and accounting records as possible, summary posting is probably the right choice for you. And transactional posting is definitely going to be better for those that want to manage inventory at a product level. You don't or you do rely specifically on detailed customer or product analytics to make your decisions, or if you need accurate audit trails and you need to be compliance ready, depending on the industry you're in, maybe that's more of a concern for you specifically. Obviously, these aren't necessarily blanket statements end all be all. These pointers are just that. They're just like little recommendations. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to choose one or the other. And given that Webgility is so flexible, you can switch back and forth between them. Obviously, like we mentioned, if you are switching, you'll need to adjust your workflow. It might create some mismatches or things that you need to fix on your accounting side, depending on how you need to look at it. But it is something that can be done. You can try one out, and if it doesn't work for you, you can move to the other option. So again, just some words of recommendation. This is generally where we would have the Q&A section. So if there are any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I know we had a couple questions throughout the webinar chat that were asked, and I did answer them. But yeah, if there's any other questions, we can answer those now. Otherwise, we'll give you guys some time back in your day, and everybody can have a wonderful rest of their week. We'll just give it a minute just to let people answer or ask questions rather
Yep.
before we end it.
I have seen a lot of chats over there.
Yeah, somebody had questions
Uh-huh.
about making sure cogs were recorded
Updating, etc.
correctly. Yeah,
Hmm.
and it seems like they have some questions just on their specific
Right.
WebGility
So
subscription. So
just to like there is one Let me just, there's one question from Dan, and he is asking related to COGS, like he wants to record the cost of goods sold, like COGS report. He wants to generate COGS report. So COGS reports generate basically if you have assigned a correct cost price for your QuickBooks accounting. So whether WebGility is posting order individually or posting summary or posting orders as general entries. So based on the cost price you have defined, QuickBooks will prepare the COGS report.
Yeah.
Webgility is responsible for creating your income report, sale of product income, but COGS report it completely depend on your items.
Yeah. And that's essentially what I said in my reply to Dan. It seems like he maybe wants to make sure his WebGility is set up correctly, so I'm gonna have somebody reach out. But yeah, ultimately, when it comes to COGS, we're reliant on you having that data inside of QuickBooks already. There are some ways, like as you mentioned when you were showing the setup, there are some COGS syncing options that allow you to pass that information from QuickBooks into your sales channel. But when it comes to getting the initial COGS information, understanding the cost of goods sold on the individual product level inside of QuickBooks, it needs to exist inside of QuickBooks first. So, um, yeah, and it looks like that is all the questions we have for today, which is totally fine. We do
Hmm.
use this time as sort of a working hours, so if you're watching this back at a later time, feel free to join these sessions and ask any questions that you have. Again, they don't have to
Hmm.
directly pertain to what we're talking about that day. We're happy to get in touch with you, get our customer service team to reach out and make sure that any problems you have are fixed. But more importantly, we use this time as an opportunity for our customers to interact with each other as well. So if you have pointers for each other when it comes to running an e-commerce business, nobody knows better than you. So feel free to share that expertise amongst your colleagues, I guess. So that is all the time we have for today. I appreciate you guys joining, and Faizan, as always, I appreciate you being
Hmm.
on these. We wouldn't get anywhere without the implementation team and you specifically
Hmm.
being able to show our customers exactly how things work. So I appreciate you,
Thank you.
and yeah, everybody have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, John. Bye,
Thanks.
and have
Bye.
a blessed day ahead, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.